Pull the house
I'm
down.
fat, and I was like, I was trying to ride it
That's
out.
a clip.
I was trying to ride it out, and it was just like, fuck it. Like, I need this. This is bullshit. Like,
Anyway,
plus with the baby being hot and shit, just like turn the fucking air on, turn the fans on. I had ceiling fans going all day.
Anyway, back to fucking.
So how high is your electric bill?
Jesus fucking Christ.
This hot season. How did we get on Sopranos?
I was trying to segue back to the Sopranos, and you're just like, it's really hot up here. I'm fat. Like,
It is hot up here. I'm sweating bullets, dude.
I'm fine.
Open some windows. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
There's windows open right there.
That shit is cracked 2 inches.
There's a wasp nest right there. I'm afraid
They sleep at night.
Fuck you.
Why don't you have a screen, you fucking peasant?
I had screens.
Broke him to climb out on the roof and smoke eggs.
No, there's still a screen in that one. No, for real. I have no idea where the wasp nest is. I opened up the window the other day, and 3 of them were in here.
I feel like Joey Diaz on the Rogan episode where he's like, you bring me up here, you give me the Susquehanna, where you Joe Rogan.
You can turn the fan on higher if you want.
Nah.
Anyway.
I'll just sweat like a greased fucking pig.
You bring up a good point about the interpretation of the ending, because the interpretation of the ending should be like completely subjective. And I think that an ending that David Chase presented the audience with not only left everybody up to their own interpretation of what the Tony's conclusion is, what the what the possibilities of, like you said, a sequel are, but like really like it just left it to absolute like up in the air. But you make your theories as educated guesses you can take. There's like a thing about the reason that, like you said, people get so defensive about it is because you've been like kind of led on, like they've spoon fed you everything up until that point, and then you're left to kind of jump to the next conclusion without having anything to support your conclusion with. So like it makes you feel a little bit like, attacked when somebody's like, no, I think it's this way. And you're like, well, I kind of read it this way. Fuck you, Tony's still alive. Like, it kind of makes sense to me. And then, like, it's weird that you mentioned that specific thing, because it's like, okay, I have a bit of a better comprehension of that now, because, like, I tell people I don't like Breaking Bad, and you had that exact same reaction to me. Like, fuck you, I thought it was awesome. Like, I mean, maybe you weren't, like, the most passionate about it.
I loved it.
Yeah, like,
I
so.
thought it was a great show,
so,
and then
like,
you just shit all over it for me. And now I'm watching it again, and it's pretty good.
It's okay.
I don't hate it like I did the second time after you ruined it for me. But there's little things where I'm like, kind of cheesy.
Yeah, so
little minor details, but overall it's a great show.
This guy was the latest version of chatbot GBT. I think it's on like version 7 or something now, but it was like whenever this was a week ago. It was on
got
4.
us banned from TikTok.
Yeah, that guy. That one, because you can't say the H word on TikTok. Bro, so
that's the least viewed clip.
I laughed so fucking hard at just that conversation. For context, we had a clip that we were trying to upload to Reels, because we've been doing the Reels lately. One get 1.5K views, which is fucking awesome. Thank you.
Like a couple thousand views on the TikTok. We gained 8 subs. If you found us from a Reel, thanks for fucking tuning in.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Really appreciate
it. So. It was funny because you gave me the Reel to upload, and you're like, this doesn't work on my end, and then I got it and I uploaded it, and it didn't work on my end either, but it's because you said Hitler. Like,
no, you said Hitler.
Or no, excuse me, I said Hitler. And you tried to cover it up with car horns.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. A,
you can still hear it.
B, before you say, there was no warning like, hey, I'm just gonna blare car horns over Hitler.
They had sensor beep sound effects, and that worked less. So then I just typed in like sound effects, and I was like, car horns are pretty loud. Where you said that blank people should be something or another, and that H word was doing everything right, and it was in context. You weren't saying that. The robot said this.
Exactly.
It's just like, how is this offensive? We're talking about something else. But
I was talking about Tay. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, it was a real early prototype of all like AI chat, like what chatbot GBT is.
I feel like censoring it made us seem more guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like just another racist tirade. All right, settle down, David Duke over there. Like it was just funny. Like I walk out on my front porch. It's quiet as fuck. The neighborhood. It's like 1 a.m. And I just
it echoes out here too, dude.
I fucking like open. It's like, well, I was busy looking up, and like just I thought you were in my driveway.
You're like, this isn't my favorite clip. I was like, fuck you, I've been working on it for 30 minutes.
Yeah, you got like
tried.
You got defensive about it. I wasn't mad or anything. It's just like I thought you were fucking with me, like you were in my driveway honking the horn.
No, I was pissed because I had been fucking with that for like 30 minutes trying to get it to. No, because I was like, this is a funny clip. I went and I had already put the captions and everything on it, and like that, I'd already doctored the subtitles so they were perfectly right and everything. Like, I put a little bit of time into it, and I was like, I want this to fucking work. And I was like, maybe if I block out the H word, it'll go through. And like, it worked. It uploaded. It's still live, but like, it just completely ruins the clip. But I was like, we're leaving it. Fuck you.
I want it.
I was pissed. It was like very irrational anger, which I mean.
No, it was funny though, because like I wasn't mad. Like I was like, I'm still gonna upload it. I have no problem uploading it.
You fucking better upload it. I'm threatening you. I'll fucking punch your lights out, Joe.
Down there and fucking force you to upload it and tie you up.
Gunpoint. Upload my clip now. Our 63 subs need to see this.
They're craving content.
This is even content.
This isn't good. Like,
we forgot to go live, dude. What are we doing?
I was gonna say, yeah.
I literally forgot. I have my phone somewhere.
Yeah, only 20 minutes on. Yeah,
that's fine. We went late live last time.
Yeah,
you can go live on the talk. Should I do the talk or the gram?
Yeah, pretty good. You can go live on talk. Actually, you know what? I can go live on BLACKTOOth too. So like this fancy, first 21 minutes, or excuse me, 18 minutes. Our premium content.
I don't know how to fucking go live. Oh, there we go. Live on the talk. Or no, I can't.
Mod on.
You can watch other people live. Can't go live on the talk.
I'm gonna go live on your talk.
I don't really know how to work TikTok that well. I don't really like it either. I just go on there to upload. Its editing is like supreme though. Like its editing features, it really is like seamless. Like compared to fucking YouTube. But I'll just go live on the gram. I don't think I can go. Google how to go live on TikTok.
This is gonna be a fun one.
You have to have 1,000 followers to go live.
Oh, okay.
It's fair enough. Fair enough, TikTok. We're getting there. We're at 100. Oh, dude, I'm sweating like a fucking pig up here.
All right, turn that fan on.
Oh, you're good.
Nah, turn it on. Like that little one that's halfway up. What crack is that?
What little fan?
Yeah, so the one's like.
I thought there was like an actual fan behind me. I was like, I don't see a little fan, dude.
I don't see the fan, man.
The can man, the fan man.
Cheyenne, not everything is goddamn.
It's not playtime, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
You're ruining the shot.
You're ruining the magic.
It's a great.
I like how we're going live on as many things as we can go live.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Pretty gay.
This is. I don't know. It feels like I'm doing something with my life.
Yeah.
Something better.
We're working.
This is work.
I gotta go work, Tina.
I spent the day working.
I'm a content creator. My fans are craving content.
I spent the day actually.
My aunt.
Yeah,
What's new pod? I got emails at work. I'm just trying to kill some time.
If I listen to Joe say something about Nazis, then people tend to stay out of my office.
The Hitler Tooth Podcast.
I mean,
just have our opening music be like German fucking like battle hymns or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Really lean into it.
I was thinking about this. I want to save up and go back to Europe. I want to go visit I would go say hi to Camille. Like I would go visit the Netherlands.
You know what's fucked up? What Vincent's favorite toy is now?
What's that? The German flag.
That little swastika ball. That little ball thing that Sonia mailed.
She mailed something?
When Tina was still pregnant. Back when things were still good.
Back when things were still
in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase.
It's just some little ball. It's like sensory. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a hollow ball where you can like stick your fingers through it or something.
Okay.
I don't know. it's like his favorite. And I'm like, where we get that? And Tina was like, Sonya. And I'm like, oh, that's awkward. He plays with it like all day long. He's like obsessed. And I'm like, huh.
It's fun. She blocked me. I didn't realize.
She blocked me too.
Yeah, I mean, I
wonder if she listens to this though to see if like.
Hopefully.
Thanks for the toy. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, thanks for the memories. Thanks for the learning experience.
That's gay. Chop that out.
We're live on 2 platforms, dipshit.
No one's watching. Oh, one person. I think it's Westy.
Westy.
What's he say? I can't read that far. Back in Nam, I think he wrote.
Back in Nam. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Do you want to talk about Nam? Do you know that Jim Morrison's dad was
that's a great segue.
Jim Morrison's dad was the admiral in the Navy during the Gulf of Tonkin, which is the catalyst that started the Vietnam conflict.
I've heard some funky shit about him that his dad was like involved in some.
Yeah, he's like all right. So there was this weird book
that
came
he was
out.
An industry plant because his dad was some fucking.
Yeah, he was in the Navy. He was like part of the CIA later in life too.
They're saying like Morrison was like an industry plant, like
yeah, totally
to promote like psychedelics and.
So there was this book that was just recently published, and the guy's last name was Peterson, I believe. But the book was called "Strange Scenes from the Valley." I think it was "Strange Scenes from the Valley" is what it's called. But yeah, it's a book about the. Somewhere in LA that there was like this like enclave of people living in one of the San Bernardino Valley or whatever, one of those fucking areas out there, where like there was just all these musicians that like kind of just like springboarded out of nowhere in the mid to late 60s, like, you know, the Beach Boys, fucking Jim Morrison, so the Doors, like all these fucking big bands, Zappa, like Led Zeppelin came out of nowhere, and they were all living in this like general area in LA. All of them had ties to high-ranking government officials. So, like, Frank Zappa was one of those guys, and this was what blew my fucking mind. His dad was, like, on a military base where they were doing, like, chemical and mental testing on patients. And he grew up on that base. So, like, his dad was, like, not only a company man, you're getting so much of that all over yourself.
That happens every time. Just like cost of doing business. I scoop back on the tray.
Okay. Right on. Some crotch weed.
Yeah.
So flavor. Much in your mustache, dude.
Really?
Jesus Christ.
Dude, my mustache is so annoying.
Yeah, I had to trim mine the other day.
I haven't trimmed mine in like 4 months, and it's like the point where I take a bite of a sandwich and I'm getting like a bite of mustache with it, and I'm like, this
it's disgusting.
It's horrible.
Mine started smelling like coffee, and I'm like, yeah, that's what
it smells like smoke all day, and it feels like sticky from like the constant blunt smoke in the fuck. Oh,
when I hit the bong and I have it, it's like my mustache comes up sticky, like from the little lip. Yeah, it's like fucking gross. This was great content. It's like how fucking we maintain poor personal hygiene while I was criticizing hippies for being CIA assets. But I do think that's a weird thing. I do think that there's a lot of government plants that are in music. Like the whole War Mode episode on Led Zeppelin really blew my fucking mind because they were like the biggest ones. I didn't know though about the Jim Morrison.
And it's not just like even like rap now. Like it's all apparently it's just like to degrade society or whatever. Like the hippie movement to get people to do psychedelics and drugs and shit to like fucking whatever the motive was to like ruin their morals or whatever the fuck. But then like
I don't think it was to ruin their morals. I think they were genuinely trying to figure out the effects of LSD on like a population, because there's like a thorough experimentation that was done in the Haight-Ashbury district where they were like giving LSD to Johns that were going to see prostitutes in exchange for like I told this on the pod already. It was like some fucking like project the CIA was putting on in San Francisco, and it was like during the height of the acid.
It's like still a thing though, and I think the Beatles were part of it. They were big in the psychedelic movement, and like then Mac Miller would always say he was the new Beatles, and then apparently like his grandpa was involved in 9/11 or some shit. His name was like Mickey Weiss.
Wait, what? Mac Miller's grandfather?
He started off as like this. He started off as like he's a frat rapper, like friendly. Like his first mixtape was called Kids. It was just like this happy-go-lucky, like let's go outside and smoke a blunt, and then like his next album mixtape was called Macadelic.
Okay.
And it was all like, let's do fucking hard drugs and psychedelics and shit. And then he was always talking about like hard drugs and shit like that. And the conspiracy was like he's like an industry plant or whatever. Like the character Mac Miller died, he's still alive somewhere, and like his family is somehow related to the Clintons, and his grandpa was involved in like the people that something to do with 9/11, like with the insurance thing or something like that.
Some Larry Silverstein shit.
Some high level Jew shit.
Okay.
And they're like, Mac Miller's just like an industry plant.
And
like,
we're canceled.
Yeah. Talking like Patrice on that episode of O&A that got him fucking whacked. He's like, I work with mid-level Jews.
Yeah, dude.
It's like a cartel, dog. Like, he just literally spills the beans on the Hollywood, and they're just like, he died of a stroke 3 months later. Like,
yeah, dude, well, like,
I believe in shit like that. It's creepy. Like,
there's one on Miley Cyrus, and it's really freaking me out because all the fucking people said that like there was like a point where you can trace it back to. If you want to get deep on that, man, figure out.
Like cloned her, or what? Were we
No,
tracing back?
body doubles. All right, so whenever she started doing whichever, I think it's gonna on camera be this one, but there's like this thing that when people do this,
They cover their eye.
They cover their eye.
Yeah,
and they
that's the
go like
all-seeing eye
this,
symbol.
or this.
Hundreds of artists and actors and. Even James Gandolfini and Edie Falco have a picture.
Yeah, so there's like this theory that that's like the blood ritual or something like that. That like that's you getting into the Hollywood cabal. And Miley Cyrus is the allegations. This guy, of course, is on 4chan, so like, you fucking sue me, blow me, whatever you want to do. The allegations are
allegedly.
The allegations that when Miley Cyrus turned 16, she was supposed to partake in the blood ritual thing and refused. And Billy Ray Cyrus was like, "Well, this is out of my hands now. You're an adult. You can either play ball, or we're gonna like have to do something drastic.
We're gonna have to kill you."
And they did. They took her out into the desert, in between where L.A. and Las Vegas are, and they buried her out there. And then there's been a body double. And then like ever since then, the day she turned 18, she went and did a photo shoot with Terry Richardson, who's notorious for being like very peripherally like I wouldn't even say like linked to, but like familiar with a lot of human traffickers that are tied to like the modeling industry and have been busted for like a whole bunch of weird pornographic shit. It's fucking like that's who Miley Cyrus. Like she turns 18, she starts hanging out with this guy, starts drinking beer, doing hard drugs, and taking photos of herself naked with this fucking weird artist guy. Where the fuck is that? This girl was on Disney, and then like the whole Janine McCurdy with her mom or whatever. Like that's some pretty fucking weird shit.
What's that one?
Janine, she was on an episode of Eric Andre, but she's got like a book that just came out where she like did a tell-all about how her mom abused her, but like I don't know, it seems a little bit like she's, I wouldn't say embellishing would be the wrong word, because it would seem like she's doing that for like
generate clicks or whatever.
Not even like generate clicks, she wrote a book, so it's like she's like obviously like trying to like do it with like some kind of motive, but like her whole thing is like I hate my mom, she subjected me to these like Disney level, like these Disney low lifes that are like executive high level position people that are like, you know, subjecting kids to rape and torture and mutilation and shit like that. But like she didn't go and like outright say it. She kind of did it with this like kind of weird facade of like, I don't believe in that, but my mom's a bitch for making me hang out with Dan Schneider and shit like that. So it's like
Dan Schneider's a creepy dude.
Yeah, like I said, like there's all sorts of fucking weird Hollywood cabal shit that like gets me all fucking jammed up.
What does cabal even mean? Is
like
it Hebrew? Is it?
Yeah, it's like a fucking
the Kabbalah. I've heard like, multiple rappers mention the Kabbalah in songs.
It's like
and stuff.
A higher end mafia like kind of thing, like a I think more like a government style, but like
pretty cool.
Yeah, like the government. There was like the 5 families in New York. Yeah, my fucking Wi-Fi went out. Fucking lovely. My Wi-Fi sucks out here, dude. My Wi-Fi at work is the worst.
It looks pretty cool. It looks like GTA wasted on the black and white. I don't think we had any viewers on there anyway.
No, there wasn't, because the Wi-Fi signal is way too fucking weak. Whatever.
I'm on fucking
free.
Sprint Tower data. We're rocking.
But
we got Aunt Schuler and Westy and someone else.
Oh,
I'm not gonna try and squint.
Schuler, what's going on, buddy? I gotta drop off those Plymouth
Dan Duran. I don't know who that is, but shout out to Dan Duran.
Dan Duran.
Audio is probably terrible on the live. Now I think about it, we're like this far away.
We don't have any fucking audio hooked up to that either, so it's just
who cares? But it's just like bonus.
It's an incentive for you guys to watch the podcast
join our Patreon.
blacktooth.com/Patreon. It's backwards, isn't it? Patreon.com.
We have 1 sub left on there. That's okay.
Better get eaten.
Yeah. I'm making a living, ma.
Have you ever seen that movie I was watching downstairs?
RoboCop?
No, that's Dredd. RoboCop is perfect. Dredd's close though. That's a great movie. It's a new one.
Never.
There's that one, and then the original one's Judge Dredd that has Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rob Schneider in it, and Arnold Schwarzenegger does a lot of that face the whole fight, like a lot of that. It's great.
He's funny.
I love him. He's not Schwarzenegger. Fucking Stallone. I don't know why I said Schwarzenegger. Sylvester Stallone. They're similar.
You just wanted to say Negger.
Well, Westy's here. Westy's bringing friends. Westy could probably just like stick his head out the window and hear me yelling.
Yeah, he could just be on, just hold a mic out the window, and Westy could just fucking do a burnout in the old 7-3.
He's gonna start fucking popping shots off. Oh, you guys think of fucking...
I've never heard the one about Miley, but there's the big popular one about Gucci Mane.
Who's like, Gucci Mane?
What?
Who's Gucci Mane?
You don't know who Gucci Mane is?
No, Gucci, it's like the brand. Is that like a part of the brand? Who is it?
You've never heard of Gucci Mane?
No.
1017 Brick Squad, dude. Big goo.
Is a rap guy.
He's like
the rap guy that I should know about.
He's not like great, but he is a very popular artist. Okay. He kind of sucks, but no, he was like this big fat, not super fat, just like big pudgy, like druggy dude. And then he went to prison for like 3 or 4 years, and he came out like ripped, and he doesn't do drugs anymore. And everyone's like, that ain't Gucci. Like he was crazy. Okay. He was a crazy hood rat street dude. And now he's like a very eloquent, well-spoken one of them, you know.
probably got on fucking antipsychotic medication while he's in prison.
Nah, it's definitely a clone. That's where they clone him. They bring you into prison. Then the other conspiracy, they give the celebrities blonde hair because they put them in these torture chambers and they get so stressed out that their hair turns white.
Wait, where'd you hear that?
Internet.
No, but like, I mean, like, do you have an example of
YouTube.com?
No, like of a celebrity.
Pete Davidson.
Oh, okay.
Slim Shady back in the day. A ton of celebrities have had bleach blonde hair.
Bam did that too. Yeah, I think about it.
Almost all of them. It's some ritual thing where they like torture the fuck out of them, and like I don't know if their hair actually turns white, but it's supposed to like signify that.
That's
like,
they've been
through
weird.
Some shit.
Like,
they make them see shit. Apparently, they make them watch like fucked up things too. And then
like what? Like Ludovico treatment,
like sacrifices, and you know.
Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Ludovico treatment from like A Clockwork Orange, where they like pry your eyeballs open, make you watch like fucking World War II and like rape, like snuff films and shit like that.
Not films though. I think they like make them be present for like
like ritual sacrifice,
they like murder a child and like drink its blood or whatever the fuck.
Okay, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. None of this is, you know.
No. I mean, it's like unsubstantiated.
This is fun conspiracy theory, but this is
Minecraft.
all alleged in my head.
Yes,
the voices are telling me this. That's I read that on Reddit or YouTube or somewhere. It's like these guys with the bleach blonde hair. It's because they've been through some like torture ritual.
I believe it. I could buy. It's just as plausible as that it's not.
I bet you a lot of them just start out wanting to be like a cool music artist, and then once you reach a certain level of popularity, it's either you join or you fucking get fucked. Yeah. So it's like a lot of them just don't like. People blame them like they sold out. It's like, well, if someone holds a gun to your head and like they say, do you want to be rich or do you want to fucking overdose on fentanyl?
I have to kind of like spoil it for you because like I know you're not going to watch it on your own volition, but you really like you need to watch Under the Silver Lake, and I'll gladly like I'll pick a day where I'm off work, we can like watch it
together, dude. Hold hands.
Yeah, fucking suck each other's dicks.
But like awesome
for real. Like it's a movie that like I saw it in theaters and I loved it so much I bought it. Like I really like it. It's a movie about this exact thing. But you say this like you think it's like a specific person or like there's like it's like the Masons or like, you know, the fucking
I don't know exactly who.
Templar.
I think there's a bunch of them and they all kind of.
So I think that they all kind of have a mutual understanding of like, but like yeah. So like okay, this whole started when I started watching that movie. Like I saw that movie in 2018 when it came out. Then I know this is gonna be like okay, here you go. Here's where Schizophrenic Joe comes into play. I started researching Antarctica, and Antarctica is one of those fucking places where it's the only place on Earth where every country has equal sovereignty. There's no problems. Like you have countries that don't get along on their own turf because of like dumb arbitrary bullshit, but for whatever reason they divvied up Antarctica, and Antarctica is just cool with everybody being where they are, like no problems.
Well, it's because no one's fucking there. That's like the logical argument to that.
But it's a strategic location if you think about it. One of the poles does have like we use the Arctic Circle as a bombing route. Like that's like theoretical. Like for whatever reason, like during World War II, Germany, not just Hitler, Germany thought it would be a pragmatic idea to go down there because they found oil reserves at the tip of Chile. And we're like, oh, well, if we're trying to get a self-sustained Germany, we'll be able to go out of, I think it's the fucking English Channel or whatever, the fucking Gulf thing, right? Go across the Atlantic Ocean, end up at the south end of, like, or Brazil or Chile or whatever sympathetic country would be cool. Set up a dry dock. Argentina is one of them. There's a lot of allegations that was where Hitler's U-boat showed up.
I know.
Yeah, like, I mean. But,
that's why I said it. There's tons of Germans in Argentina, too.
But anyway, like, so, but what you're like, I think that there's like this, if they're willing to do that on this really weird specific thing that's very vague, and there's no real motive, and there's no real reason for them to be aggressive, but also there's no real reason for them to, if they're not going to be aggressive, well, why do they need to divvy up territory? Why don't they just all agree? Like, it's like the moon. Like, I mean, the U.S. has a flag on the moon, but it's just because nobody else has fucking been there. Like,
it could just be like no man's land.
Yeah, like, I mean, they could just be like, okay, we all agree. Like, it's like the Titanic. Like, we're just agreeing that this is a place where everybody can go and nobody has fucking reign over it. It's just like
international waters.
Yeah, something like that. But okay, so the reason that I think that has something to do with Hollywood people being like, you know, like shady and whatnot is that I think that when you have something like that where it's on such a macro level where all of these world governments are able to get together and say, okay, we can't agree on shit, but we can agree on this. There's got to be something going on in Hollywood where like all these like figureheads where it's like all the studios, all the music producers, all the like that thing I sent you the other day, you were like, I read that like 10 years ago. Yeah. Where it's like, get all the fucking people on board. We're not going to fucking give. We're not going to shooting each other. We're not going to give them a fucking option. We're going to tell you that this is the way that it's going to go, and it's completely out of your hands. You're not going to know why you're doing this. You're not going to know what the end result is. You're given an order and you obey it, or go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out. You don't get to play with us anymore.
You like die.
Yeah, or that too. They'll knock
you get
you off.
Suicided. You get shot in the back of the head twice.
Twice, like you're a fucking Clinton aide.
Gary Webb or whatever the guy's name was.
Yeah. What's the fucking journalist guy? There's.
I thought that was Gary.
No, there's another one too that's more. Yeah, Gary Webb's one of them. I don't know. Someone to say. Go fuck yourself, Joe. Who's that cop from fucking the fucking Timothy McVeigh's bombing Oklahoma City?
I think you sent me that, or we talked about it on here. Yeah, I remember that vaguely.
The guy that had his hands tied behind his back. We talked about it on here once, but yeah, he had his like hands handcuffed behind his back, and he wriggled out, and then he was shot back in the back of the head twice, and had his throat slit, and like they were like suicide.
Yeah, it's crazy how a crooked coroner can just like totally fucking change things. But I was fired up to do one this afternoon, a podcast, because me and Tina were talking a little conspiracy talk on the ride home from lunch this afternoon. It was the windmills. Apparently there's offshore? It's weird to me with the windmills because typically you would think that the liberal folks would be defending it and like be for green energy, and the Republicans would be like, this is gay or something. Or I forget.
That's gay.
Yeah, I'm butchering this.
Wind is gay.
This made sense earlier.
Blow me.
Before the fucking baseball bat. No, it was... What the fuck? It was the opposite of what it should have been. So like the
liberals they don't want the windmills, and the Republicans do want the windmills because it's cheaper, and the liberals are like, no, it's killing the environment. It's ugly. It's unsightly.
Well, no, the Republicans are saying this is bad for the environment, and the liberals are saying, oh, that's a false narrative. You just don't want green energy.
Okay.
That's what it was. It was backwards. It was, and I was reading it on multiple comment threads where the liberal folks were saying, like, hey, you guys are fucking idiots. The windmills are fine. This many dolphins die every year. Like, this is just a false. This is a false ploy by big oil to get you to not want green energy. And the Republicans are all like, this is fucking bullshit or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Above, so below,
we care about the dolphins. Like, it's just this weird flip-flopped thing. But there is obviously liberal people who are against the windmills too. But something came out today that said that the wind farm thing actually may be very detrimental to whale.
What are they growing?
Very whale and marine life or whatever. But it was in no danger of eliminating the entire population. Like, oh, that's reassuring. So you just murder half of them.
Yeah, still got half.
I think the windmill thing's sort of bullshit.
Walk it off.
I do think it's bullshit. Like
what? That you don't want them? I don't want them either.
Not that I don't want them. I just think it's like there's. My argument was like, there's people who've created ways to run cars off water and they get clipped. I'm like, this windmill thing is it's a money move. It's not like, I don't think these people actually care about the planet. Like, no. I don't think they're very economical or green in any stretch of the imagination. No. I think it's bullshit. And it's just like playing on the heartstrings of the green folks being like, this is clean. It's wind. And it's like all this oil and shit in those big things that could leak into the ocean. And like,
look at all the Tesla charging stations that run on gasoline. Look at that.
Well, no, I was going to go the route of it's all bullshit because didn't Nikola Tesla have like come up with a way to like have like infinite energy or some shit?
No, that's a theory. It's just a theory. But no,
I was gonna say like it's like I was gonna say like the energy crisis is already solved and like it's just these power like the oil people fighting the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like I think it's all bullshit. That's the problem with being a conspiracy dude though, because like everything
it's all bullshit, man.
Literally like everything that comes out I'm like fake fucking bullshit, dude. That's what they want you to think. They're just showing us this because there's something else going on over here.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree.
It's like a sickness because like you see logos and you're like, oh, there's an eyeball in that logo. They're fucking part of the fucking cabal.
What the? Well, just it's. I mean, you're
the all-seeing eye and the different symbols. The owl, the sun. You're like, ah.
All right, so back to what you were saying though. Before, where did you steered off somewhere because you had a good point
talking about the windmills and stuff?
Yeah.
Or?
So one, it plays to on the empathetic level because it's like, oh, it's better for the environment. So you win. It like the baseline of it. The only argument you could have against it, or like if anybody gives you any argument, oh, you don't like the environment, like what's wrong with you? So it's instantly like you already have a built-in defense mechanism as to why it's a good thing. So nobody's going to question you on that. So like no matter who's like the proprietor that's pushing this, like whether it be the government or a private interest or whatever. No, like somebody's already got a built-in defense mechanism of like, oh, it's good for the environment, regardless of
you don't care about our children.
Yeah, it's like how fucking costly it is to make these things, how environmentally unfriendly it is to make these things, how little energy they actually put out, how frequently they break down.
Sell it and they can make $5 billion.
Well,
fuck those whales.
Well, that's
you know what I mean?
Well, that's just it. It's like
they can run their gasoline yacht.
What you're completely overlooking here is that they're not trying to solve any energy crisis. They're just finding a way. Yeah, they're just trying to find a way to generate income. If they wanted to actually solve an energy problem, what they would do is put the fucking turbines in the channels, not wind turbines, ocean turbines. Like, and we talked about this before, where it uses the tidal force to generate static electricity, much like that of a dam.
I was the Hoover Dam had those. I saw those.
Yeah, because I was there too. Yeah. So like,
cool.
what I was like, someone pointed out because like, it doesn't disrupt like the fishery or
anything.
Doesn't
that help power Las Vegas? The Hoover Dam, those big fucking
turbines,
giant fucking
leak
warehouse room, like big side of a mountain dugout. It's just huge room with just all these giant fucking turbine looking things.
What it is. I think they all generate like 4.2 gigawatts or something like that. It's like one of those is able to power probably like the entire county. Like,
that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty nuts. Like, and that's just from power. It's just literally from water flowing through that thing. They dammed off a river. It builds, and then that fucking water generates.
So you can just do that.
Yeah.
Versus
putting killing everything in sight.
Birds flying into these things.
Someone had a fucking killer spout off too. There was like, the whales want to come out of the water, and what makes me want to go into it. I'm like, that's actually a fucking great point.
It's all fucked.
It is, man. It's like, but like, I mean, at the same time, you can't fight City Hall. All I can do is live in the fucking woods and hope for the fucking best. I mean, I'm praying that we get nuked.
That's kind of where I am with conspiracy, because when I was in my early 20s, it was like, I was going nuts. Like, I watched Zeitgeist, and that just like blew my mind. And I was like, everything is fake. And I just, when you first get deep into conspiracy, you get this like superiority complex. You're like, oh, these sheep are asleep. I see the truth. And then like, eventually, it just becomes like a point of like diminishing returns. It's like, we're like, there's nothing you can do about it. So like, why are you just spending all day like worrying about like the banks and like Hollywood? And, like, it's just like, it doesn't matter. Oh, they're showing us this in movies. It's like, well, if they're going to do this shit, like, they're going to do it.
Learning to deal with the anxiety of it, too, is, like, a big fucking factor. Because, like, once you realize all the shit's going on, it's like, there is nothing I can personally do to stop it. I can yell into this microphone.
And it's almost like a...
We could keep the stream going live 24 hours a day, and I could go on 4chan and show you everything that is, like, I deem as authentic, you know,
probably
like,
wouldn't be wise to do, though.
It probably
then it puts a target on your back.
Exactly. Like, but even so, like, I mean, nobody would fucking care. It's like, oh, he's just being fucking crazy. Like, it just, no matter how you try to disclose this to people, you come off sounding like a crazy person, and then it's like they've already won, because now that you're talking about it, all you've done is given whatever the thing they're trying to deflect.
You ever try and bring up like 9/11 was an inside job to like a normal person? They're just like, you fucking kidding me?
Dude,
my uncle was in New York.
I got a fucking...
People get pissed. They think you're a fucking nut.
I got this friend, I'll leave him anonymous, but he went to college in a town that was like very close to Ground Zero. Like, we're talking, like, I was in college, and then I visited him in college, and he was right across the river. But you could see Ground Zero from his college.
Fuck.
We were walking around town one day, and this random kid just comes up to us. He goes, you know, man, like, I really have a lot of things to say about 9/11. And we're like,
not the place to do it, man.
Go on. And then you're like, I mean, we had an interesting conversation.
To me, saying 9/11 was an inside job doesn't take away from the tragedy. It makes it even worse. to me, it's like people get all upset. They're like, "Oh, we were there. We saw the planes." It's like I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Not discrediting it. No, I'm saying that
I'm saying that our government knew about it and perpetuated it.
The motives and like
our government was fine with offing 3,000 of its own citizens.
I don't actually think that they knew what was going to happen. They just knew that something was going to happen and were playing blissfully ignorant.
Dude, they were warned by like 30 countries.
Yeah, we were warned by our own CIA like several times.
And this was the one day of the year that we happened to be doing war exercises with the fighter jets that could and would stop this type of thing.
Well, this is why I wish you'd watch the X-Files, because there's an episode of the X-Files where there's these two different races of aliens that are competing to abduct somebody, and then spoiler alert, you're not even going to figure it out until the end, because like
I'm not going to watch it.
Exactly. So it's like a really long, convoluted way of the end of the episode is the one alien kills the other alien, but that alien that was an actual alien was like not like he wasn't supposed to be on Earth. So the alien that killed him turned out that it was just a guy in a suit, like a CIA agent in a suit that was like, "Oh, you're on the wrong fucking turf, motherfucker," cap the thing. And then they deliberately shoot down a fighter pilot to make it look like the alien's body was recovered so they could dispose of it. And like they're like, "Oh no, a pilot crashed in the woods." And then they pull the guy, like, because they had to kill the guy too that fucking shot the alien. So he's and then everything just gets conveniently covered up. So like,
but that happens in real life. Dude, all the time. Pat Tillman, dude.
Pat Tillman was that guy. Well, did you actually hear the theory that you got fragged? That apparently was like,
I heard it was friendly fire. Yeah. Conspiracy, and apparently he was spouting off against the war. And then
that was like they were saying he was quite outspoken.
That's a tough one, dude. I think shit like that happens. Oh, we know shit like that happens. I'm not saying, like, I'm not guaranteeing the Pat Tillman thing, but just in history, there's just been...
The guy that they had on War Mode, the guy, Michael Strange's dad, he was the one that I told you, the Chinook helicopter that got shot down with all the Delta guys that killed Bin Laden. They're
fucking weird,
they were in a fucking slow... They're Delta team. They're not supposed... Or SEAL Team 6 or whatever. They're not supposed to be in a slow-moving helicopter. They're supposed to be in the fastest vehicles available, and they put them in a Chinook, which is like an archaic...
Like a Vietnam fucking chopper.
Yeah, it's like a transport, like a cargo vehicle. It'd be like trying to take a C-130 on a covert fucking mission that like you need
my cousin Eric flies those.
SR-71 Blackbird was the plane I was trying to think of, stealth bomber. But yeah, I'm sorry, your cousin
he flies those big ones that like can hold like 10 tanks or whatever, like the biggest one. He flies those to like bases in like Germany and like all over the world and just like drops off supplies. He's just basically like a giant fucking like military Instacart. Like
that's pretty cool.
That's like just like, hey, I got your 10 tanks and your fucking 20 RPGs and
just pushing a couple howitzers out the back over Ukraine.
Yeah, I can't imagine like flying that thing. I can't imagine flying, period. But like he's flying like a fucking...
Better start flapping real hard, babe.
He's flying a fucking like not a warship, like an aircraft carrier in the air. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking nuts.
There's a documentary on the military channel like way back in the day. My dad and I, of course, watching our Nazi documentaries, but there's one on the C-130 that they had developed in Vietnam, and it's still in service today. They were using it in Afghanistan.
It's pretty nuts when military equipment like that lasts like several wars.
It's like, not because it's particularly good, it's just that it's effective, and that's like really why the military clings on to shit as long as like there's this whole thing about how
good old truck keep it running.
Russian artillery units right now are like killing I'm not getting into this, but they're killing the shit out of these Ukrainian ones, and like Germany had to reinforce all these Ukrainian gunnery divisions because they sent them howitzers, like the NATO sent them howitzers, and like all the Russian equipment has like fucking mobile guns. Like imagine like a tank track, but like instead of it having just a tank turret, it's a literal mortar, like a 110 millimeter, 125 millimeter fucking cannon that can shoot like 4 miles. So all of our howitzers are like, they're like a third of the power of those. They're not as accurate. They're not mobile. You have to hook them up to a fucking deuce and a half to fucking lug them around and aim them and shit. And they're like sprint, like you have like a loading team. Like the units are like whatever the Russian ones are like they drive there, they park there. Everything is self-loading, and like it's pretty much like a 3-man unit. Like not a hard fucking thing to accomplish, and they figure out why they're getting their shit pushed in. But I guess the Ukrainians got their fucking last laugh because they stole a T-34 and fucking drove into a fucking Russian trench with the fucking turret down and just domed some guy.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, the fucking footage coming out of fucking Ukraine is graphic as fuck. There was a guy in a trench that shot himself.
I don't like real war footage.
I love it. It's
I remember
fucking
back
awful.
when Iraq or whatever, it was early days of the internet, and like when I forget which site was posting it, but it was like
Michael Pearl getting his head chopped off.
No, it was, you could see like the live actual bombing footage and stuff in the Middle East. Yeah,
Baghdad. Yeah. I watched that live when it happened, when they started fucking clapping.
No, I'm not talking the ones on TV. Like there was tons of these like
live cam.
Like what was that website? Bestcore style clips of just like people getting their fucking head turned into jello by snipers or whatever.
Sweet.
Like there was just tons of like U.S. confirmed kill type footage.
I watched 2 hours.
Like, yeah, go America, but like it's just like not my thing, dude. I don't like seeing people's fucking heads get splattered.
2 hours of the Wagner division in Russia. Like there was just like this like 2 hour fucking video that someone posted of like these guys. They had night vision cameras and they had night vision scopes on their Dragunovs. So they went out in the night and were like waiting while these guys were like kind of like moving from one trench and displacing to another, and you could tell they're like moving equipment and stuff. So like when the light comes up, they're in a completely different location, but they can't just like go in one straight line. They have to like displace and move shit. So this guy is just laying out in this fucking like paddy like a mile away or something like that, and it's just lobbing ammo at it, and then his buddy is like crawling up the other side, all in night vision, mind you. These guys are out there completely blacked out, communicating with one another like pretty much by hand signals and shit.
Fucking band of brothers.
They took out like 16 fucking guys in like a half hour, and like it was fucking crazy. Like they were just like they're just out there fucking murking, and like on top of that, it's all like infrared and shit, and like heat and stuff.
So they're hitting him with like the distraction fire over here, and then the other guys running up and just fucking.
They're just trying to like keep them moving, because like they'll have to like hunker down, and that's when the guys like the guy that's like shooting the big gun, and then there's guys just picking them off, and it was like they were like working in tandem, and it was like all in night vision. It was really fucking weird to watch. But that like so the Ukrainian, most of their footage has been from drones dropping fucking mortars on people, and it's kind of fucked up because they think that there's like this theory that they're taping like AKs to the fucking Russian POWs' hands and then dumping them in a trench, then flying the drone over it and dropping a mortar in there. So they're like unarmed POWs that are like supposed to be
like, hey, look at this, we're killing fucking.
Dude, there's been some brutal ones. There was a guy getting a fucking blowjob. They dropped a mortar on him.
And you've seen this.
Yeah.
You watched, they have footage of it.
Absolutely. We could pull it up right now.
I don't want to. I don't like. I have no interest in watching that stuff.
But the Ukrainians.
I'm not trying to get PTSD from my fucking office chair. Joe's seen some shit. He's got like 1,000 yards.
I got Camille really bad because there's a Wagner footage. One of these, the Ukrainian guys fucked up. They put unskilled fucking soldiers up against mercenaries. That's not what you're supposed to do. This guy wouldn't surrender his weapon, and like there's 2 guys in a trench. The guy throws a grenade, or excuse me, 3 guys in a trench. The guy throws a grenade, knocks one of them out. The other 2 guys are like clearly concussed. Dude's bleeding from the ears. Guy rolls in, and like these are, like I said, mercenaries. These are like the Wagner division is like mentally ill people that like are murderers and like war crime and shit.
I know what mercenaries are.
Yeah, like they're like the worst of the worst though. These guys are like war criminals that Putin personally.
They love war. Like, they're like, we get paid a lot of money and we're just gonna go murder everyone.
They got granted freedom, so they turn these fucking maniacs loose after 6 months into Russia. So it's like, okay, that's fucked up. But there's this guy who throws a grenade, kills one of the guys or incapacitates one of the guys, and then the other 2 guys are all concussed. He jumps into their foxhole. The guy's pointing an AK at him, but he doesn't have his finger on the trigger, so the guy jumped into the foxhole, threw the grenade, tries to pull the AK from him, and the guy won't let go of it. And then the other guy's like trying to surrender. Then he reaches for the barrel, so the guy just fucking dusts both of them, and then jumps out and does roll away. And it was like, everybody was like, that was kind of fucking cool. Just watched like 2 guys get fucking blown away. They murdered the fucking shit out of this Ukrainian, this old man. It was fucked up. He was smoking a cigarette. He goes, Slava Ukraine, and they blow his fucking face up.
And you saw this?
All of this, yeah.
Why are they filming? They're like live streaming. They're just like on Facebook Live.
There's like a theory that there's
are they like rocking GoPros? They're like on their iPhone.
Some of them, some of them, like a little bit of both. There's this guy that took I forget what the fucking rifle's called, but it's like this real rare Soviet thing that they haven't replicated since. But it's like the
PPSH.
No, not the PPSH. It's later than that. It's the VSS and fucking PUBG. I can't think what it's like. A suppressed, like it's got a built-in suppression system. But it's like a real, like it hasn't been made in a while, and there's like a fucking Ukrainian guy that picked one off a dead Russian officer, and was like, hey, that's pretty fucking weird. Like, it's pretty cool, but like, it's not really practical in the field because you're not gonna have a good time trying to find
a souvenir though.
Yeah, like that's
this is a historical event.
Yeah,
I mean, like the guys trying to get Lugers in World War II.
Yeah, Band of Brothers. That's exactly it. Like
Bill Garnier or whatever.
The big fucking thing is.
It wasn't Garnier. It was what the fuck was his name? I forget the guy who got shot over the fucking.
Who's the guy that shoots at the horses? Because he lived in Summers Point for a while.
Who shoots at horses?
Not Quarantine, not the first one, the second episode when they drop in during D-Day, and there's a German guy riding on like 2 horses in a carriage, and there's a guy that jumps out with the Thompson, sprays the horses down. That dude, the U.S. guy, lives in Summers Point. He's probably dead now.
It might have been Garnier. Garnier's from Philly, so like that might make sense.
He like apparently
I haven't seen it in years. I have all the VHSs.
If you look him back in the day, if you looked him up, he would talk to you about it. He would like do he had like a whole Q&A thing you could do with him, which was pretty cool. Someone I know did it. I won't say who, but like, yeah.
It's not a secret. It's fine, but I won't say who. But no, he did like talks and stuff too, at like libraries or wherever the fuck, like auditoriums. My uncle saw him in Philly doing like a similar, like a live event type thing.
Q&A thing.
Yeah,
right on.
Telling stories and stuff. Pretty cool. Fuck that, dude. I couldn't. We've talked about it on here before how like when you're younger you play Call of Duty and you watch Band of Brothers and you're like, I want to serve my country. Dude, I'll die for my country.
Dude.
I did. I was that delusional kid, and then I turned like 15, and like you start realizing that like death is like not Call of Duty. Like it's like, yeah, I don't want to. And then you hit the hippie thing where you're like, I don't want to die for oil, man. Well, I was like, I'm not going to fucking. Because I like piped it up. I was like, when you're in middle school, you're like, dude, I'm joining the fucking army, and then. In high school, I became a pothead, and I was like, I'm not going over there and dying for oil.
My grandfather, I was
gay, when I was both aspects.
When I was 14 years old, my grandfather, who had Alzheimer's, told me flat out, because the military came to band class and was like, you will get your college tuition paid.
Y'all trying to join up.
And they were like, you could just play drum. You never have to go to war. You just play a drum. You can go to college for free. And I told my grandfather that, and he goes, yeah, that's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, not in those words, but he's like, yeah, don't join the military. He was a World War II veteran. He was like literally, he was drafted because like the draft got reinstated in like 43 or 44 or something like that, and he was in college, and he got pulled out of college and sent over.
I thought if you were in college, you didn't have to go. Or was that Vietnam?
He got popped, man. I think Vietnam. Damn. I think Vietnam was that one in Korea or something like that. I forget. Yeah. I don't think there was a draft in Korea, but anyway, he got pulled out of college, sent over to England. Was supposed to be a ball turret gunner on a B-38, the Flying Fortress thing, which 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people that died.
Oh Jesus!
It was like a
you're in that little fucking ball
thing. Yeah, you ever seen that movie, The Memphis Belle? The thing that gets stuck.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's a ball.
I know exactly what that
360 degree. But yeah, like you're beneath with no cover.
So like bulletproof glass in that thing?
No, dude. Like you would
in glass.
There was times where if you got shot at the wrong angle, or if there was like flak that would like shake the plane incorrect. Like, I mean, not like obviously incorrectly, but like, damage it. The ball would just fall out and you just go falling to your death. Like, I mean, and you could like
parachute.
Yeah, you had a parachute, but like, it's not, you're fucking falling into enemy territory. Yeah. It's like, they're not going to give you a good time.
They might.
But, dude, like, my grandfather's supposed to be one of those guys. And then he blew out his eardrums because my family has notoriously bad ears and like sinuses and shit. So he blew out one of his eardrums. So they grounded him and he became a mechanic on P-51s. And,
it's a better gig.
Went all through World War II. And then came home and was like, yeah, fuck the military. I don't want anything to do with this shit anymore. And I told him, like,
I feel like there's two camps with ex-military guys. They're either like, it was the greatest time of my life, or it's like, structure. Don't join. Yeah, like they loved it, or it's like, this was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, like, I know the exact, I never met somebody in the middle that was like, it was okay.
It was all right.
It was all right. I had a good time. There was no real...
Some good times, some bad
Holy shit. You okay?
Dude, it's going to stink real bad, dude.
Oh, my God. This is brought to you by fucking cauliflower.
No, not cauliflower.
Green beans. Oh, fuck. What the hell did you eat?
I don't smell it. They've been toxic the last few days to the point where like Tina was getting mad at me. She's like, I'm fucking tired of it.
Women don't understand how funny farts are.
No, she farts all the time.
No, like, they don't understand.
But mine were smelling in the car like poisonous, and then I would lock her window, and she couldn't roll the window down. That's the best,
dude. Best prank.
You let one go, and you just smell it immediately. You're like, oh, this is gonna fucking slap.
There's this one time I went to Bojangles when I had to go pick Jamie up for work, and I went to Bojangles after a night of fucking drinking beer with Will. So like 13 fucking Coors Lights, and then a fucking breakfast biscuit with like fucking shitty egg and cheese, and then like fucking real shitty coffee, double creamer. So I get to James' apartment, and I can already feel my stomach bubbling. He gets in my car, and he's like, dude, we should hit Bojangles. And I'm like, yeah, let's go to Bojangles. I got another breakfast biscuit and another fucking coffee. So I got double in the tank.
Why'd you eat more? Did you admit to like,
he never asked. I just fucking, like, the bag was in the
just
back.
Just warm wrapper on the seat.
Bag was in the back seat. The coffee cup was in there. I think I threw it out at his house too. Yeah, we end up going to work, and we get to the parking lot, and the door has like a child lock on it. So he's like, "Yo, man, unlock the door." Oh, and I have the PA system on my truck, so I'm yelling at this one coworker we have named Tyler, and he showed up in a leather trench coat and these like tiny sunglasses, like he looked like real like Neo from the Matrix. So I hop on the PA system. I'm cutting like it's just like. And like in the background, you just hear like that. And I'm like, "Hey Tyler, where'd you come from, the Matrix?" And Jamie's like trying to open the door, like, "Hey man, can you unlock the?" Oh my god! And I just let it sit there for a second, winked at him, and he's like, "Fuck you, dude!"
It's the best.
Opens the door, throws up immediately all over the fucking. Like I bought him breakfast, so he was like so pissed, but I was like, "Dude, it was so worth it, so worth it." Yeah.
And
like,
you guys were hungover. This was like the next day.
He was like, I think he went to his girl's house or something like that, or he went to his. I picked him up at his apartment, but I don't know where he was. We ended up in different locations, but like, yeah, he was hungover as fuck too. Like,
yeah,
he was
dude,
probably,
a nasty fart when you're fucking super hungover. Yeah, I'm.
Heat was
fucking
on too.
hurling.
It was like the middle of the winter. The heat was on in the truck, so it was like it was extra spicy.
It just smells like ash and fucking regret, and then Joe's moist fart. Somehow when it's your own, like today, I was like, oh, it's a good one. Like you're just sitting there, like yeah, but when it's someone else's, you're like, oh, dude, what the fuck?
I made this.
How does your body know it's not yours?
Actually, that's like a way of your. It's like a really like primate way of primate. I don't know whatever it is.
Primal.
It's a primal way of you fucking detecting whether or not your body's healthy or not. If your farts are like off, you can tell from your farts. And,
I'm not healthy then.
Yeah, probably. Like, we eat so much processed shit. I think it's like we're already deliberately doing it. So like that's why our
like
farts.
Oreo farts and like
I think
Lunchable farts.
I think our farts are supposed to smell like something like farm animal. Like that means you're healthy. Like your gut biome's like good because like animals eat a lot of fiber and like protein.
Apparently,
and
you're not supposed to really fart that much at all.
I heard quite the opposite.
Yeah,
it's like healthy for your prostate.
No, I'm saying like
regular bowel movements and flatulence.
Well, yeah, standard medical advice. You probably should fart 15 times a day or whatever. But then there's other people saying like if you do the right diet, then you won't have any gas or anything.
That's another thing too, man. I think there's a lot of spin doctors out there saying that I've completely lost faith. Like much like I've lost faith in like 90% of medical advice, especially what I read online. Like I think that there's like spin doctors that are pushing dieting things for cabal reasons. But like, have you seen those ads that you get on like YouTube where it's like, if you want to get shredded in literally 2 days, you just got to stop eating? And it's like, well, yeah, no shit, but that's like a crash diet. You're
This
not
is the
gonna.
one I always see. It's this guy. It's like you want to get ripped, you don't do cardio or something.
Yeah, that
it's like
one.
that guy.
Yeah, it's basically just
gay.
stop eating and go for a walk.
Dude, that
Like,
guy's got the best genes ever. He's a fucking stud. Like, don't give me advice with my fucking dud genes.
Like that's just it. It's like weight loss, specifically personal health, is like it's called personal like health and fitness for a reason. It's because it's subjective and like it's unique to you. I cannot do the same workout regimen you do because you are 6 inches taller and like 50 pounds heavier than me. It's just genetically you make more sense to do certain exercises than it does for like.
Are you an endomorph or an ectomorph?
I don't even know.
Fucking, you ever heard those things?
Anamorph.
Three.
I'm turning
like
into a
three
lizard.
body types. So like the one is like generally more stocky and like more prone to gain weight, but like stronger or whatever. And the other one can like eat whatever and like stay skinny and lean. And like there's like 3 different body types, and like you're supposed to eat and work out according to your body type. Yeah. I don't know if I put any stock in it, but
No. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I just know that, like, right now, I'm like completely skeptical. The only thing I've really taken to heart is intermittent fasting, and I've stuck with it for so fucking long. I just don't feel like deviating. If I eat more than one meal,
I want to get back on that.
It's fun. I mean,
I don't see keto works for me for weight loss, but it just has a lot of side effects where I would feel like lightheaded and just weird and get headaches. I know it's like your electrolytes are off, and then I would try and add in electrolytes, and I would feel even fucking weirder. Like the electrolytes, you don't really want to fuck with. Like they'd be like, take 3,000 milligrams of potassium, and then I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack, and I was like, I should stop listening to Reddit on fucking.
This is fun.
Advice. But no, keto is great for weight loss. Like I was skinny as fuck, but every time I go on keto, I end up having stomach issues within like 3 months, and it's just like I look great, but it's like my stomach burns from just eating like 2 pounds of ground beef a day, and like your body needs your microbiome needs like some carbs or starch to like proliferate the good bacteria, and it's like if you're just eating all meat and then like it throws shit out of balance or whatever the fuck, like in layman's terms.
I was gonna say like there is like a harmony to it. I just don't really know where my.
And there's people who eat carnivore and feel great. Like I think it's the sliding scale. I don't think I definitely want to lower my carb intake because I've just been going banana lands. But like I was like I'm still gonna eat a fucking sandwich if I want. Like it's like like keto is like under 20 grams. Like I'd rather do like low carb is like 100 or 150 grams or less. Like something way more. Like it's not even like restrictive at that point. You know
I'm trying to like even think about like what I had today. It's like because I think I only had one meal, but yeah, like I had like everything I had wasn't keto.
Yeah,
but like I still like for the most part do like clean eating when I can. It's just like I went to work that I haven't had any of the fucking. I had to try things too. Which I was talking shit on.
I don't know. You waking? I got fat, dude. It sucks. My clothes don't fit. Like I'm wearing an XL and an XL and like it used to, dude. And then I look like today, like I look like a fucking kid he grew out of his clothes. Like I was just like looking at myself. I'm like, I didn't look like super fat. It's just like I look like my clothes are too small. Just like I look like a fucking idiot. It sucks. And I when I was like 175, I threw away all my fat clothes. So now I got like nothing. Like I got medium underwear, so they're just squeezing the fuck out of my ball bag. Like, it's just fucking. It sucks when I think always being fat like blows, but it sucks to like be. I was 320 pounds, and then I went to the opposite end of the fucking mountaintop where I was 175. I like hit all my goal weights or whatever the fuck. And then to put the weight back on, dude, that's a fucking rough one. You just lit my show the lighter, dude. You're a piece of shit.
You said it's alright to relight.
No, the lighter. I gotta use the hemp wick. I probably just didn't want to be mean last time, but fuck you, dude. Ruined the flavor profile on my mids.
Tell me how you really feel.
You're gay.
I agree. It's like I put on 10 pounds since I had my surgery and I feel like shit. But
I think part of it for me was having the kid, stress eating, and then my grandpa died, and I was like, I'm gonna take this pain out with Oreos. Like, I didn't go fast food. It was just a lot of sweet treats this winter, man. It got pretty dark, and I was just like, let me eat 19 Chips Ahoy before I go to bed.
Hearing like other people's indulgences, like wow, like I realize like how like indulgent I am, but like I also have like probably the dumbest indulgence. Like my worst is I eat too much dark chocolate and peanut butter.
That's like a keto treat, though.
Yeah, like it's like it's like it's okay, like it's not terrible. But then like
you can really put on some heavy calories with that. You know what I'm saying?
What it is what it boils down to for me is soda and sugar. Like it's like if you just eat smarter, like if I'm gonna eat sugar tonight, like I'm gonna have that dark chocolate and fucking peanut butter. But like I don't drink soda, and that's
I don't drink soda. I'm mainly 90%. 99%. I don't drink soda at all.
I don't either. I drink seltzer water and then
coffee and water.
Coffee, like, and lately I've been using less and less sugar too, which I'm like going slowly back to black. But like when I get to black, it just kind of becomes like
not that enjoyable.
I hate myself. Yeah. Like I'm like, why am I even
muscle it down? But like just a little bit of cream makes your day just like that much less gay.
Shit, I had something to fucking tell you about Wawa today that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I definitely want to get on the intermittent fasting train, and like me and Tina both need to lose weight. Like she's been saying, like she wants to lose weight too. Because you have a kid, I used to make fun of people that had kids and they both got fat, and like I'm like living that now.
I just make fun of the chicks that I went to high school with that got fat without the kid.
Yeah,
dumb bitch. Like fucking go for
when you lose the weight, you get this weird like superiority complex. Like,
yeah,
I'd
totally.
just be walking around and see like a fat lady getting like cereal and like carbs, and I'm like, you don't even know about keto, do you? And it's just like. Keto's great. Like I love it. I wish that my stomach could handle it because I felt after a while I was like, I don't need bread. Like I liked eating, fucking hamburgers and fucking steaks and shit. Like I could totally do the diet. It's just like too many side effects for my tummy. Like
I was gonna say, imagine like you said like you're walking around the superiority complex. Imagine working in the industry I do and watching the shit that people put into their mouths. Imagine like it just like the way people fuck their food up in general annoys me. But like I have to stand there and I don't care about food, and I have to watch people day in and day out take pictures of my food.
I hate food.
I do too. I'm
so tired of trying to decide like what to eat every like lunch and dinner. It's like I said the line the other day. I said I wish I could just take a pill twice a day.
I told you that I made that chick cry, and that was the best day of my life because I made that chick cry. Okay, so I was on Facebook this one time, and there was a thread in a cooking group that was like, "Did you start cooking because you like cooking, or did you fall into the industry?" And like I would say like 7 out of 10 people were like, I just fell into this.
Just got a job.
And
my friend Todd called me and said, hey man.
The loudest minority was like all these fucking hipsters like, well, I just had such a zest for it while I went to Europe and experienced the cuisine, and it was so divine that it made me come over.
It's like when comedians talk about like their art. Like, it's just like this hack thing. It's like,
Tom
all right,
Myers.
dude. Which it is art, and cooking's art, but it's like, don't talk about it. Like, you don't got to be like this self-indulgent cunt. You know what I mean?
Like, there's a time and a place for food to be art, and my restaurant is not. don't kid yourself.
It's a passion of mine.
But yeah, I gotta finish this story because this just made me so, like, the way it ends is so fucking good. So I was in this group, and yeah, everybody was like being like all self-indulgent. I just posted, I was like, look, I fell into this. I was raised by a chef who was raised by a chef, so I'm the third generation of chef in my family. None of us were particularly fond of cooking. We're just kind of good at it, and it's like a way for us to pay the fucking bills. It's a job.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
somebody's got to do it.
And I was like, personally, if it came down to it, I would put money, I would invest, I would do whatever if somebody could find a way to make a pill that gives you the daily nutrients and vitamins and minerals and everything that you need, like that you get from 3 square meals a day or 2,000 kcals, whatever. Well, just give me a pill, I'll take that. I don't
streamline it.
Yeah. So like I said that, and then some chick, like I got a bunch of thumbs, like angry reacts.
This guy
like,
stinks.
Yeah, like and then people are like, "Who are you to say that food isn't necessary?" I was like, "I cook food for a living," and they're like, "Well, fuck you." Like,
they probably just thought you were like a jaded chef.
I was like, no, I'm not interested in it. It's like I'm good at doing it.
It just becomes redundant after a while.
The one chick goes, "I read this and you literally made me cry. This is the saddest thing I've ever read." And I was like, "Well, why is it the saddest thing you ever read?" She's like, "Well, cooking is my passion. Like I'm not like somebody that is just like I do this for fun or like I do this because I'm good at it. It's like this is something that I've dedicated my life to, like the art and science of." And I'm like, okay, you've actually like not. It wasn't like the best answer, but it felt sincere enough that I'm like, you know, okay. And she's like, well, like why do you resent it? It's like because I see this every day and I don't like it, and like I can't even bring myself to go out to eat much anymore because it's just like I feel bad for making other people do something that I could do myself perfectly fine. And she's like, I want you to go out or something like I want you to give it a second chance. So I was like, you know what? Just for you, I'm gonna go out right now. I'm gonna go get a sandwich. I'm gonna go to a diner and get a sandwich. I ended up going to a diner, and on the plate that I got served my food, someone had a booger on the plate. They served me a fucking booger.
Bro.
And I flipped the fuck out on the car ride home, and I called Jay, and I told him that whole story, and he goes, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I remember being so dismissive and being like, are you sure it was a booger? Like, you just did it look like, and you were like, it was a fucking booger.
I sent you a picture of it. Like, it was clearly
like, come on, it could be something else. You're like, no.
Bro, I've worked in that.
The chick from the group worked in that restaurant, probably.
Oh, definitely.
That restaurant fucked me and Tina bad the last 2 times we've gone.
They're not good, man. They're really not good.
Nah, because we've been going there for the last year or 2, and it was just like a solid, once a month, just go-to spot. Like not nothing to write home about, but decent food, decent price. Food's always ready when you get there, type thing.
Yeah.
But the last 2 times, man, it's just been like I was bloated for like 24 hours and like fucking wicked diarrhea, and I was like, what the fuck is happening to me from this fucking meatloaf?
There was this time I got egg whites there 2 days. Like I went there and I was like, I couldn't possibly, like, because there's nothing in it that was like bad. It was like egg whites, sausage, and like vegetables. And I'm like, I mean, maybe the vegetables had a cold, but they're like cooked, so they shouldn't have like anything that's like too dirty if they've been washed. But I ate like back-to-back meals. I got the same thing twice and had like violent diarrhea for like 2 days straight.
It's the worst, dude.
And I'm like, this isn't fun. Like, this isn't like a good experiment. I'm not going there anymore. And then my dad's like, oh, you're fine. Immediately got the same thing like a week later. Like it just happens, and they like didn't care. Like
it's nothing you can really do. It's just kind of like
deal with it. Stupid.
Yeah.
Like you gotta fucking.
Sometimes it happens on some homemade meals too.
Yeah.
You eat some shit and like you're like, dude, twice homemade chicken pot pie from 2 different people that made it. For some reason, I think it's the cream sauce or something. Both times you fucking murdered me. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I love chicken pot pie. And then I tried a fucking Marie Callender's, and it was like the pain times 100. I was like, what is in this one? It's like the processed like robot meat or whatever the fuck they got in there. Dude.
That's just like fucking 3D printed shit.
Dude,
I don't trust that shit. I don't trust that shit, cocksucker. Did I ever tell you about when my mom died? My ex-girlfriend.
Jesus Christ, Joey.
My ex-girlfriend's mom brought us food. Like everybody brought us food.
Common.
Yeah. It's like
brought my buddy lasagna when his.
And that's what she brought us. She brought us lasagna, but she like made it with some recipe that was disgusting.
Okay, so is the ex-girlfriend, are they Ginzos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, was this some like fucking American fucking
No,
lasagna? She bought like ragu.
No, paisans as fuck.
This is like homemade gravy. And
No. It was weird as fuck because it was like whatever recipe she, because I know it was like a recipe. I have no idea where she got it. It did not taste like lasagna. It didn't have any meat in it. It was like, it tastes like green. It was really weird as fuck.
Green. Did she use like the green noodles?
No, well, there was like the
Don't put that in lasagna.
the tricolor noodles, which is not right.
Don't put that in lasagna.
Yeah, it looked like patchwork fucking pants, like
because lasagna's got all that red sauce and then it turns orange, and you got these green fucking long noodles, and it just looks very unappealing.
There was a vegetable in it too that I could not identify. I want to say it was. I was going to say it was red peppers or something. It was not good. And then I just remember the next time I saw her,
muscle it down and be polite, and then throw it out after.
It's not like she was staying with us or whatever. She dropped it off and then like dipped, and we were like, "Oh, this is just gonna conveniently go in the trash."
I kind of expect that when we gave when someone passed, we gave like 2 different households lasagna, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, they're definitely.
Don't tell nobody where you got this. You took a chicken wing in their breast pocket.
No, I just was imagining. I'm like, if this was me, like, depending on who gave it to me, but if I gave this to me, like, I would probably throw this out. Like, see me walk up on your porch, like, hey, I made lasagna.
I'm not dealing with this right now.
But it's just a gesture.
No, it is.
Just throw it out.
It's like the flowers.
I think that we even said that. Like, if you don't want it, just toss it. But, we just want to.
Yeah, well, no, it's like the gesture.
We love you.
It's like you get like flowers or whatever for like, like it's like they're going to die. It's not like they're going to create like more flowers. They're already dead.
They can.
Not really. Like if they're in a vase or whatever.
Isn't that like vegetables? You can like chop a piece off of like a fucking potato or something, and it'll grow a new one in a jar.
Potato is not a vegetable. Potato is a starch.
Rutabaga.
It's a starch. Any other?
What's a rutabaga?
Rutabaga is a vegetable.
I don't know nothing, Joe Rogan. Tomatoes are fruits and shit.
Yeah. Well, Mark. Actually, this is a fun one with Mark. Mark and his dad have been having like I guess like at this point it's like 15 years long. But before I knew him, and I have actually stoked the flames of this debate whether what qualifies as a fruit or a vegetable. I think
it's the seeds.
Yeah, it's like where the seeds are.
And that's where they are. I thought if it had seeds, it was a fruit automatically.
I think like bananas are a fruit, right? But their seeds are on the inside or something like that. But then like strawberries technically count, but like vegetables.
I just thought if it had seeds, it was a fruit. So
cucumbers. I was gonna say cucumbers and then like fucking peppers.
They're technically a fruit.
Peppers. Too.
They're fruits technically.
I've got no.
I believe.
I got no idea. Like I honestly.
But it's like not.
Yeah,
it is. It's just like one of those like the speed limit is 65, but everyone's doing 75. It's just like,
come on, officer, these are bananas, not plantains.
Is that a plantain in your pocket? You're just happy to see me.
Nah, it's a cucumber.
And I'm a fruit.
I'm a vegetable.
Full of seed.
After you shoot me in the face, officer.
Fuck. It's just so off the rails. I'm gonna get a text tomorrow just be like, this episode sucks, dude. You gotta come over again today. This was not funny.
I'm absolutely just gonna. I haven't even been looking at them just because we can go live. I've just been fucking syncing it up and off.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's fire.
It's been great. Like I
feel like rewatching them is torturous because when I'm looking for a clip, I literally put it on 2.0 speed and I just keep speeding through until I see us laughing. I'm like, maybe this is a clip. Like, I can hear it, but I literally just click through until I see us both laughing. I'm like, okay, maybe this is funny because like. I've re-listened to some. I've re-listened to some of them. In order for me to re-listen to it, it has to be like an old one where enough time has passed where I don't really remember the conversation. But to listen to a new one, like if you upload this say in 2 days and I try to listen to it, I'm like, I feel like I'm having this weird like deja vu. I'm like, I was there for this conversation. Like it was just as retarded then as it is now. I don't really want to re-listen to this. I often forget what we talk about, and then I listen to the re-up. Like that's why I always freak out because I was like, I can't believe we fucking said that. It's nothing bad. It's just like this isn't good. Like, and then I finally like. It's normally just me stepping all over you like right now, and then like you're like, I'm trying to finish a fucking thought. Yes, exactly. And I re-listen to it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta stop doing that. And the next time, I'm like, so anyway, I'm hot. Nice callback. That was a good one. I know I'm flawed, but I can't stop myself from doing it because you just get excited and you're like, but wait, my uncle did this. No, because my uncle knows karate. My uncle sells cars in Virginia. My uncle's dead. Nice. I think like all of them. Really? Do I have an alive uncle? I have an alive grandpa. I have no alive uncles. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Who cares? You want my uncle? I have a couple. He's pretty cool. He sells cars in Virginia. What's the saying? Sure.
Sure.
Uncle Paul. If you say like if, like you're just like, well, if this blah blah blah, my grandma would be, well, if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. I'm just like, I'm 7. I don't know what that means.
When I was like 14 working at McGowan's, Mr. McGowan always say, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, then we'd all have a Merry Christmas. And then he also one time told me, I can't fucking see this.
Say it, dude.
No. He's an old man. Like
what's loud and bubbles and bangs on the glass windows?
It's not too far off. He's like,
someone in a microwave. My grandma also told me that joke.
Well, he would told me about how when he was a little kid, he grew up in Ireland, and there was a book that his parents bought him. It was 3 little and then an off-colored word for African gentleman. And that was his childhood memory.
So instead of 3 little pigs, it was 3 little.
Yes, it was a very spooky book.
Not touching that one. I don't want to be canceled yet.
Neither are the police. They don't go to that side of town no more.
I was like, dude, what? It took me a second. I'm like, they're definitely touching. They're beating the shit out of them, dude. They touch them all the time.
With their knees, their batons.
Their fucking gun.
Their bullets.
Yeah. I didn't know where you were going with that.
all those protests 2 summers ago were because they got a little too handsy.
Oh, dude. This is a dumb one. You ever see that clip where it's like the female cop like patting down this dude and she gets the gun and he's like, that's my dick. That's my penis. She's like, what? He's like, that's my penis.
That's your penis.
Yeah. He's like, oh.
No,
I think it was a dude actually.
I did watch an episode of Live PD last Saturday, which I forgot was like on. It's actually on every Saturday. I'll send you the link. You can watch it for free online.
I have cable.
It's on Reels. Do you have Reels?
I have Xfinity.
It's probably on there. Anyway,
what does it air on like NBC or probably one of those like mainstream
Reels? That's the only channel it's on because they got kicked.
Channel is Reels.
It's like a
I know. I don't have that. I have
like
Show and HBO and that's it.
It's like I'll just give you the link. It's easier that way. Just someone streams it and they don't have it's in a country where there's no like streaming like NHL.ir
720p streams.
Shit like yeah. So like it's just in a country where that exists, but it's shot in America, broadcast in America, but it doesn't broadcast to any like American affiliates except
during the anti-cop movement they got taken off the air.
Yeah, so now it's broadcast in Europe on like basic cable and they don't have the same like copyright protection laws, so people just stream it and you can watch it online when it's on live here. And last week there was a chick that lost a subject running through a neighborhood.
She lost a what?
The guy was shooting off a gun and she showed up, the guy was like right in front of her. She like lost him running through a neighborhood and like the entire fucking chat was just like,
that's what
this is why
see.
We shouldn't let them have guns and badges.
No, when I watch cops and they're like on a chase or a foot chase, I'm rooting for the guy to get away.
Oh hell yeah!
And apparently it happens
all the time,
and they don't air it on cops.
Yeah,
that's the cops I want to see. Like, we lost them. The guy's just fucking, the guy just got home celebrating. Like,
I've been enjoying this guy named Smoking Scan on fucking YouTube. He goes live because in LA, for whatever reason, it's California, you're allowed to air police chases. You can do it in other places too. It's just not as popular.
It's real popular in fucking
huge
LA.
In fucking LA. Like because they were like the place that had invented. OJ or whatever was like. Then it was all downhill from there. But in LA. So there's this guy. He's a California dude. Like they legalized weed out there. So his thing was he just get high,
smokes and watches
smokes pot, and like goes live on YouTube and watches like all the police broadcasts, like live streams of the police helicopters and shit. Pays a shitload of money for all this like scanning equipment and whatnot. It just was like
it's a good shtick. Probably has a ton of followers.
Dude, he's got like 400,000 fucking subs last I watched him, and he goes live and it's like instant 200,000. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dog? But yeah, he's got a great shtick. It's like let's just get high and watch cops. Like